Okay, we're going to start Perek Mem Dalid, chapter 44. At the bottom, it's 232. At the top, it's 124. Okay, now the Rebbe was speaking in Perek Mem Gimel, at least at the end, that there's just like in fear, there's a lower level of fear, there's a higher level of fear. The same thing now the Rebbe says is with the level of love. There's two levels. And he discussed before, I'm going to repeat because we didn't learn for a few weeks. There's what's called Avas Olam, simply means love of world. Avas Olam. And there's Ava Rabba, great level of love. Now, the Rebbe explained before that Avas Olam, love of world, means it's a love to Hashem that you awaken in meditation of Hashem's greatness in the world. In other words, what does this mean? We know that intellect stimulates love. Okay. We mentioned many times the famous question of the Mizrich and Magid. The Magid and Mizrich asked a very simple question. There's a mitzvah in the Torah of Yahavtas Hashem Elokecha. You have to love Hashem. There's a mitzvah in the Torah as Hashem Elokecha Tira. You should fear and have awe of Hashem. So the Mizrich and Magid asked a very practical question. I can command you to do or not to do. But how can I command you on a feeling? I can say, eat something that you hate. I hate matzah. The Torah could say, I'm commanding you to eat it. You can do that. You can eat it even though you hate it. Or I don't want to do, I want to eat chazer. I love it. I want it. The Torah could say, you don't eat it. That's possible. But a feeling, how can you command somebody in a feeling of love and awe? If I don't like you, I can't turn on a love button and all of a sudden say, oh, now I love you. I mean, I could lie and say I love you if I don't. But a feeling of a heart, how is it possible that a person should be commanded to do such a thing? It can't be. So the Maggid answers, and this is what Dr. Rebbe is explaining this whole thing over here. The Maggid answers the mitzvah is not to love Hashem because you can't command somebody to love. But the pasuk before V'ahavtas Hashem Elokecha, the pasuk in Chumash before you love Hashem your Hashem, love Hashem your God, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. What does that pasuk mean? Shema Yisrael means you should understand Hashem Elokeinu, the supernatural is our natural, and Melech Ha'olam Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. That Hashem is one, that the seven heavens and earth and the four corners, everything is subservient to Hashem. And you meditate in davening, Tzukah de Zimra, and the brachas of Shema. You meditate the way the whole world, the universe is created with one word from Hashem's mouth. And so when you start meditating into that Avas Olam, it's called, the love of world, meaning not you love world. You come to a level of loving Hashem through meditation into the greatness of Hashem. Then the Maggid says, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. The Maggid says, V'ahavta means you will love, not you should love. V'ahavta, the Maggid says, means then you will love. And same thing with fear of Hashem. When a person meditates into the power and awesomeness of Hashem, will create an awe of Hashem. That's the mitzvah. So the first level of Avas Olam means love that comes from meditation of worldly things. Okay, like Dr. Rabbi says in Tanya, you meditate the way Hashem permeates the world and encompasses the world. And everything as far as Hashem is concerned, there's nothing. There's nothing but God. Okay, that creates a love. That's the lower level. Why is that a lower level? It's a very great level, by the way. But what's the problem with that level? It's based on our intellect. A person's feelings are based on the intellectual maturity level of a neshama. Like Dr. Rebbe says in Tanya, a baby likes baby things. An adult likes big baby things. Because a child's mind is very immature. So they like immature things. You become older, more mature, you're supposed to like more mature things. Okay? So, but it's still limited based on your seichel. So Abba's Elam is really a lower level of Abba than the other one. Abba Rabba, Dr. Rebbe says, that's a level of godliness which is a gift from above. That's innately existing within the neshama of every single Jew, either Bnei Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, or conversion according to Halacha. It is the ultimate level of a gift from Hashem. And that level of Ava, again, that's a gift from Hashem. So first you have the lower level of love that meditates, you think into the greatness of Hashem, and that creates a meditation of Hashem. The second level is that when you forget the first level, then you get Ava Rabba. Then Hashem gives you a gift of a level of love Hashem, which is beyond seichel, beyond intellect, which is obviously a much deeper level of love than the other way. And now he says in Perek Mandal like this. Bine kol madregas Ava, all these levels of love. Mi beis madregas elu, from these two levels he just spoke about. Ava Rabba va'ava selam. Again, the gift love from Hashem and the love that we get from meditating. Nechluka lekama bechinas madregas lainketz is divided into billions and billions of levels, because my intellect is not your intellect. Your intellect is not my intellect, and his or his. Everybody has different intellect, and therefore everybody's stimulation of feelings is different. No two people can have the same Abba. Every person based on their level. In other words, like this. When you talk about action, they're putting on tefillin. Moshe Rabbeinu put on tefillin the same way we do. The same kosher tefillin puts on the head and the arm. In action, Moshe Rabbeinu and us put on tefillin the exact same way. Rivka and Sarah Imenu lit Shabbos candles. They lit it the same way every Jewish girl and woman light Shabbos candles today. It's the same way, the action of it. But if you're talking about intent, which is an awakening of intellectual stimulation or a level of neshama, a person with a greater neshama can automatically have a greater stimulation for godliness. Then every person is different. There's tens of thousands of levels. He says every person from Shuri relate according to his own level. Like it says in the Zohar, on the pasuk, we say this every Friday night in Eishes Chayil. Neida Basharim Baila, her husband is known in the gates. That's the pasuk in Mishlei that Shlomo Malach says. So the Zohar says, what does it mean? Baila, who is the husband? That refers to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That is Hashem. The EU misyada v'zdabek l'chol chad, who makes himself known and attaches himself. Kol chad lefum mad mishayir b'libei. Every person as much as they measure in their heart. In other words, Hashem is the husband, we're the wife. Okay, that's why we say Eishes Chayil. One of the reasons we say it, besides thanking the woman for getting Shabbos ready, but Eishes Chayil refers to the Jewish people. We're Hashem's bride, Hashem's wife. He is the giver, we're the receivers. And it says every person, based on the level that they have in their heart, that's how much Hashem gives us. In other words, based on our vessel, that's how much we get. We have to create a vessel. Even this level, now the Rebbe is going to explain, even this greater level of Abba Rabba, which is a gift from above, is also based first on you're making a vessel. When Hashem sees you tried hard, you did it to the best of your ability, you meditated as great as you were able to, and you created within yourself a feeling of love and fear of Hashem, then Hashem says, you know what? I'm going to give you even more than what you accomplished yourself. But we have to make a vessel for it. There's a pasuk we say every day in davening, the beginning of davening. Harchev picha ba'amalehu. Hashem says, open up your mouth and I will fill it up. What does that mean? Hashem is telling you, open up your mouth. Hashem saying, open your mouth. The more vessel you make, the more you're going to get. The Rabbi used to say, it's an expression from the previous Rabbis also. In Yiddish, the Rabbi used to say about Chassidus, migist, migist, migist. They pour, they pour, they pour, but open your mouth. You know, we said many times the story. A chassid once came to the Tzemach Tzedek and asked for a bracha for something. And the bracha didn't come to fruition. The bracha didn't happen. So he came back to the Tzemach Tzedek. He said, you give me a bracha, it didn't work. So now the Tzemach Tzedek said to him, listen, I could give him an analogy. For a farmer, rain is a very big bracha. For a farmer, they need rain. But rain for a farmer is only a bracha when he plowed the field and he cultivated the field and he planted the field. Then when it rains, that's when rain is a bracha. But if you don't plant the field, the rain is not going to be a bracha. What did the Tzemach Tzedek say to this guy? You asked me for a bracha. Did you make a vessel? You need to plow the field. You need to plant the field. Then the rain is a bracha. Hashem says to you, open up your mouth. Just make a vessel. Now pour in as much as goes into the mouth. There was a famous story with Eishes Hashunamis. Okay, she had no money, and Elisha, she came to Elisha crying, "I have no money," and Elisha said, "What do you have in the house?" After Parshas Vayera, very beautiful story. When at the end of it is Elisha resurrected the dead, but the lady came and she had no money, and all the loan sharks were coming to throw her into jail. So Elisha said to her, "What do you have in the house?" She said, "I have a jug of oil." Elisha said to her, "Go borrow as many containers that you can from your neighbors. Don't get tons of empty vessels. And I will fill them up. And you will be able to live from the leftovers. And you'll pay all your debts." So the lady kept getting, she borrowed from all in there, and she kept pouring. And the jug kept pouring, and this little jug of oil, like the Hanukkah story. She kept pouring and pouring and pouring until the pasuk says she ran out of kalim and the oil finished. So in order to get this greater level of love, we need to make a vessel. The pasuk says, Hashem will bless you in everything you do. If you don't do it, it's like, they tell the famous story, a guy asked his Rebbe for a bracha to win the lottery, and he didn't win. So his Rebbe said to him, "Did you buy a ticket?" He said, "No." He said, "You fool. How do you expect to win the lottery? You buy a ticket, you made a vessel, then you can win the lottery. You don't buy what are you, stupid or something? How in the world do you expect to win a lottery if you didn't buy a ticket? You have to make the case." So he said, therefore, this level of fear and love are called Hanistores La Hashem Elokeinu, the hidden levels for Hashem. The Torah mitzvahs and Torah mitzvahs in Niglas Lanu Uvanenu Lasis. Practical action of Torah mitzvahs that's revealed. That everybody is the same. the feeling behind it, that's a much different level. That every Jew is based on the level of meditation, based on the level of the soul, and so on. And he says, Ki Torah achas, because there's one Torah, Mishpat echad, we have one fulfillment of laws, B'kiyam kol ha-Torah mitzvahs, b'chinas ma'aseh. In action, all Jews have the same mitzvah. Like we said, all the women light the same candles, all the men put on the same tefillin. We all have the same action because that's revealed. But but love and fear, really it's fear and love. But that is based intellectually, based on your own internal level. And no two people are the same. People used to ask, by the way, in the 60s more than today. And I remember this from the 60s. People, the revolution then of the campuses. One of the main things they had a problem with Yiddishkeit, the Jewish kids, by the way, they had a problem with Yiddishkeit. They used to ask, where is the individuality in Yiddishkeit? I'm doing the same mitzvah everybody else in the world is doing. Where is my individuality relationship with Hashem? Where's my individual relationship with Hashem? Well, I want to be unique. I want to be my own relationship with Hashem. How can I do what everybody else is doing? That's not this. They want to do their own things. So what's the answer? There's a few points to the answer. First of all, your actions, which are finite, that you make up yourself, can never reach the infinite. Okay, if a guy one day says, okay, I'm going to make a new mitzvah, it's called playing guitar. That's the new mitzvah. Every day you have to play guitar. Okay, you make it a mitzvah. What does that do? Hashem's infinite. This is finite. So when Hashem gives us the mitzvah, that's infinite given to us. So when a Jew does a mitzvah, a finite human being is able to connect to the infinite Hashem, because Hashem told us to do this mitzvah. But I do myself is not going anywhere. Okay? So first of all, if you make up your own mitzvah, it's worthless. But secondly, the point here is deeper. I put on tefillin, you put on tefillin, but they're different. Not the action of the mitzvah. The action of the mitzvah, hand, head, boxes, what's in the tefillin. You light candles, it's the same wax, the same candles. Action is the same. But the feeling of the mitzvah, the enthusiasm of the mitzvah, that's where you have individuality in Yiddishkeit. And that's a major issue of the mitzvah. The major issue of the mitzvah in connecting, like we learned before, love and fear is the right wing, the left wing, the bird flies up. That is primarily done with the feeling of the mitzvah. And that's where the individuality is, because no two Jews are equal. Yes, Moshe Rabbeinu put on tefillin just like we do, and we put on tefillin exactly like Moshe Rabbeinu. We lit candles exactly like Sarah and Rivka did, and they lit candles exactly like we did. What's the difference? Moshe Rabbeinu's intent, enthusiasm, love of the mitzvah is infinitely greater than ours. Sarah and Rivka lighting candles was infinitely greater than a woman lighting candles today. Not the action, but the intent of it, the enthusiasm of it, the kavanah. And that's why it says like this. In the pasuk that Alter Rebbe is quoting over here, it says, Hanistares Lashem Elokeinu. The end of Chumash, it says, Hanistares Lashem Elokeinu, the hidden things at Hashem, the Haniglays, and the revealed things, Lanu Uvanenu Ad Elam, are to us and our children for all generations. So Kabbalah and Chassidus explain, and the Alter Rebbe explains it in Tanya like this. The Alter Rebbe says it here. Hanistares Lashem Elokeinu, the hidden level, That's the level of Chochmah and Bina. That's hidden in the head. That's the meditation. Ve'ha-niglais, vav-hey, ve'ha-niglais. Doesn't say v'niglais. Ve'ha-niglais, vav-hey, niglais. What are vav-hey? The 6 spheres and Malchus. So in other words, Hashem's name, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Yud is Chochmah, Hey is Bina, that's intellectual. And it starts the hidden levels, Al Hashem Elokeinu. Ve'hanig Vav Hey, meaning the emotional, the 6 spheres, and Malchus, that's Lono Vanenu Adelu. That's revealed. But that's what we need to do. We need to reveal that love within us. And he says like this, but achasi, but there's one level of love, haklula, which is composed mikol pchinas umadregas ava rabba va'avas elam. So he says like this, even though there's 2 levels, ava rabba and avas elam, avas elam is what we create, ava rabba is a gift from above, and that's different by every Jew. But there's a level of love that unites those 2 levels together. And this is what Dr. Rebbe is going to explain. There's a level of love that unites Avas Elam and Ava Rabba together. And this is Shava and Tapet Samach Gimel. Be Shava L'chol Nefesh Mi Yisrael. That's equal by every single Jew. Be Yerusha Lanu Me Avish Seinu. And it's an inheritance from our forefathers. There's a level of love of Hashem which is so great, and this is an inheritance. It's not even a gift. There's gifts and there's inheritance. There's a difference between gift and inheritance. The Gemara says about a gift, I don't give a gift to anybody. Somebody who if you did something nice to me, I'll give you a gift. I don't go around the streets giving gifts to people. So in other words, you did something for me, I'm reciprocating with a gift. That's what a gift basically is. But then there's a second level, inheritance. Inheritance is automatic. Inheritance, you don't even know who you're inheriting from. A gift, you have to know who gives it to you. Gemara says in Shabbos, because Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu about, I'm giving you a mitzvah Shabbos. He says, the Gemara says, if you're giving a gift to your friend, you have to tell him. Tell him that you're giving it. Why? The purpose of the gift is to create a relationship. If you get a gift in the mail anonymously, so who are you creating a relationship with? It's supposed to bring you closer. If you don't know who's giving it to you, how are you going to get closer to everybody in the world? It doesn't work. So matana, there's a connection between the 2 people. We learned already in the past. Yerusha, inheritance. The Gemara says, Atinuk miyad sheyotzel aved ha'elam yerush hakel. A baby, as soon as he comes into the world, he's born, he comes out of the mother's womb, he inherits everything. That means, in practical language, if a father is a multi-billionaire, okay, and he gives birth to a kid, and a day later the father dies, the child inherits billions of dollars. Now, the child he's 1 day old. He doesn't know what father means, who father, what father, he doesn't know anything. There's no connection, open connection between the father and the child. What's inheritance? Inheritance is automatic. It's automatic. Not only that, but the halacha is, by inheritance, what happens if there's 5 children inheriting. Conceptually, it doesn't mean each one gets a fifth. Halachically, it's not like that. Halachically, each one gets all of it. But you can't have that practically speaking. So practically speaking, you divide it into 5. But it's not that each child inherits a fifth of the father. The child inherits everything from the father. Practically, you can't do that. There's 5 kids, so you divide it into a fifth. That means this love that Alter Rebbe is explaining is a love that's coming as inheritance. The advantage of a gift is it creates an open relationship. The advantage of buying something from somebody, when you pay for it, you appreciate it more. You know, human nature, you buy something, you pay for it, you appreciate more. Easy come, easy go. That's why in Torah, when Hashem gave us the Torah, all 3 things are mentioned. We have Matan Torah, which means Matana, gift. We have the famous pasuk, Torah Tziva Lanu Meisha, Meirasha is Yerusha, inheritance from Kilas Yaakov. Torah is called a gift, Torah is called inheritance, and then there's a pasuk in Tehillim that says, Ki lekach teid nosati lachem, teirasi al tazedu. Hashem says, I gave you a good buying deal. Lekach teid means a good mekach. Mekach memka means buying and selling. Torah is called bought, Torah is called gifted, and Torah is called inheritance. Each one has an advantage over each other. And Torah has all 3. Here, the Alter Rebbe is speaking a level of Ava. There is Ava Selim that we do ourselves, which is great because we do it. Then we have Ava Rabba that Hashem gives us a gift from above. But here, the Alter Rebbe is saying there's a 3rd level. There's a level of Ava. Hashem doesn't give it to us as a gift. It's innately existing. The Yerushalanu me'avasenu. It equally belongs to every single Jew, and its inheritance from Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. What does that mean? So we just started because it's getting late. This is what it says in the Zayar and the Pasik. Nafshi ivisicha balayla. My soul, nafshi, ivisicha balayla. I desire you in the night. But that grammatically doesn't make sense. My soul, I desire you at night. I desire you at night. So it should have said, my soul desires me. Why there's an extra I here? So he says, what does that mean? It means that one should love Hashem. With the love of a nefesh, kama dis dabaku ilaim the gufa. Okay, what it means is like this. He should love with the soul of his spirit like he loves himself. In other words, my soul I desire means that since you Hashem are my soul, therefore I love you. In other words, it's not I love Hashem, meaning there's me and there's Hashem and I love Hashem. Nafshi, because Hashem, you are me. That's why I like you. Just like I love myself, I like you. Okay, and this has to be continued next. Speaking of Hashem. Okay, everybody have a great Shabbos.